Well, hello. Today's the 1981 werewolf movie, The Howling. A reporter is part of a police operation to capture a serial killer. The killer is shot, and the reporter suffers amnesia of the event. A therapist recommends she and her husband spend time at the Colony, a seaside resort. They meet some strange people at the Colony. The husband is attacked and bitten by a wolf. The husband then becomes a werewolf. The reporter has a friend who came to help her with investigating the strange resort. The friend discovers a link with the slain serial killer. She is attacked by a werewolf and killed. The reporter is taken prisoner and finds out the colony is made up of werewolves. The boyfriend of the slain reporter comes to the rescue with silver bullets. They manage to kill many of the werewolves and escape. The reporter, bitten, decides to go on the air and transform into a werewolf to prove they exist. So this 1981 movie reunites two people that worked on in the Piranha from Corman days. Joe Dante, who directed, and John Sayles, who wrote the script. And it was a pretty successful movie. It had a budget of 1.7 million and made about 17 to 20 million. And it also came out the same year, another famous werewolf movie, An American Werewolf in London, came out. And these are two probably the best werewolf movies ever made. Originally, Rick Baker was supposed to do the effects on this, but he jumped ship to work on with John Landis on American Werewolf in London. But they found a pretty good, substitute in Rob Bottin. The effects on this were, excellent and also considered, pretty highly. And the story was based on a book by Gary Brandner, who apparently didn't quite like the movie that came out. Like, most authors don't seem to care for their adaptations. I guess Sayles probably, took a lot of liberties on it. And of course, it stars, Dee Wallace, best known from like E.T., but also had some other good high names like Patrick Macnee, John Carradine, Slim Pickens, Dick Miller was in this. And there was a young Robert Picardo, who would go on play mostly. Everyone knew as the hologram doctor in Star Trek Voyager. In his younger days, he played the serial killer in this. And it's obviously it's a pretty enjoyable movie. It had some really good special effects. It's one of the best known of the werewolf movies. It apparently spawned 7 sequels. I've never seen any of these sequels, and I hear they're not as good as this movie. And they're also talking about, rebooting this again, so there might even be another Howling movie coming out in the future. Yeah, I think this is a enjoyable movie. I liked it a lot. Like I say, it's probably one of the best of the werewolf movies. Probably American Werewolf in London is the only one better. And I highly recommend it. And if you stuck with me this long, I thank you. You're a unique individual.